Hey everyone, no respawns here. Hope you're having a grand start to the week. So this is kind of a follow-up from my last video where I wanted to kind of take this gatehouse that we made and actually build a settlement around it. One, just because I really like the positioning and just was like, oh, something's coming together here. And I'm quite pleased with how it turned out. So I made good use of the abandoned mindset as well as a couple of the newer stuff that dropped last week. Namely that scrappy car over there. And I've sort of kind of called this my Junkyard fort because I just think it looks really, really neat. I'm quite pleased with how it turned out. So let me just show you where I am. If you didn't watch the last video, I still haven't actually renamed it. I'm just here, just south of Vault 51. Really, really nice area. Possibly a little bit, maybe, too small for that gatehouse. I can think there's an area in the ash heap I think would work quite well with that. However, I'm still quite pleased. Let me give a tour. I will link in the description the last video so you can see the gatehouse, kind of how I build it, and also just because I've used them quite a lot. There's a rock, rude. Just because I've used them quite a lot, I'm actually going to link the video to how I went about building these bespoke junk walls, because you can basically just have quite a lot of fun with slapping a load of crap together to build something looking suitably ramshackle. And as you can see, the kind of end effect is quite satisfying, and you can still use, you know, the kind of normal defense pieces interspersed, so it just kind of gives it a little bit more definition and just makes everything look a little bit more scrappy, which, if you hadn't gathered already, is sort of my entire bag. Keep getting in the way of the rocks. My one criticism of the area is twofold. One, if you don't put something in the exact right place, you can have trees clipping through, which actually that one doesn't look too bad, so I'm okay with it. And also, the lighting can be a little bit weird, but we've managed to time this so it's perfect. So let's pop in. I love my little staircase. Also, I keep forgetting I've got this here. Close. Right, so firstly, there's this wee house I made in the centre. I really, really like the abandoned mindset a lot, because I can basically, again, I just like making small, scrappy little structures. If you hear someone banging, by the way, that's my neighbours deciding they need to move their entire furniture around, but let's pretend it's in the background in the game. Anywho, so I like making these kind of like really ramshackle structures. And I also like making structures out of kind of almost defense pieces merged together with existing houses. And the whole overall look is quite satisfying. It really, really, really worked. These edge pieces are actually from one of the, I think it's the Destroyed Contemporary House set. But I think about 4 or 5 different versions of those Contemporary House sets. I just went for this one because it merges quite well with the Abandoned Mindset. And also the ceiling, I think, was from the last or one of the seasons, I can't remember which. Anyway, it really blended really, really well. The interior is quite nice as well. I like this clock, though in hindsight maybe it is a little bit too crisp for what I was going here. Overall, a nice look. In terms of my build budget, by the way, I've got around a 1/6 left, so I have gone quite over the top with actually trying to use as much stuff as possible. I think, to be honest, most of it is the gatehouse, because they're quite expensive pieces. However, I've added lots of detail everywhere. Now, this car is still available in the App Store now, if you're watching this video live, and honestly, absolutely rules. The reason being is I quite like pieces that I can put into corners of settlements and sort of build a set piece around, which is sort of what I've done here. And it kind of ties together the Junkyard vibe. Added with this stash box, which is a stash box, by the way, it just makes the whole thing look just quite cool, and I'm quite happy with the set. I've kind of kept the scrappy vibe with this side, but as you can see, I've kept it a little bit more minimal. This was just a fun one to make, honestly. I quite enjoyed it. I do like this gatehouse, but again, to be honest, it is maybe a little bit too big. Let's give you a little bit of a panoramic. Also, I'm wearing the Insurgent outfit, which I got. I think it was from the Mole Miners, and it's honestly one of my favourite. Look at it, look at it. Oh, I love it so much. So cool. Anywho, stop flexing on your outfit, David. Oh, that's a screenshot right there. Anywho, yeah, so I really enjoyed this. Bit of a short video, I just kind of liked. Normally I don't, when I make kind of like a single thing, like it's like kind of video like that where it's a guide, I generally don't make a settlement directly afterwards, but I just like this spot, and I was like, oof, I think I can do something with this. I hope it gave you a few ideas. I said this, if you've got the abandoned mindset, get on it now. The abandoned mindset with the defense pieces and just generally keeping a very scrappy look really, really blends in with the environment, and it makes it like this is just being pulled together with every piece of wood and scrap metal lying around. It is very cool, and if you did miss it, don't worry, because they do repeat things back in the Atom Store kind of every few months, so it will be back. Check, I think it's every Tuesday, about 5 p.m. GMT, so keep an eye on it. Anywho, I'm going to have a Fallout New Vegas live stream later in the week, probably Thursday, maybe Friday, and it's payday weekend, so I'm not going to be doing anything the weekend because I'm going to be going out and being social of sorts. But then early next week, we'll be jumping back into the Skyrim, as well as I'm going to try and hopefully get another 76 build or some sort of video out next week. I'm going to try and get in the habit of doing those weekly, but we will see if I manage to stick to that schedule. Anywho, I love you all. You enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll speak to you lovely bunch soon. You take care.